Yes, good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Four Back, your weekly podcast broadcasting all your STS action from the weeks gone by. I'm, of course, Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Hadlington 83. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, mate, and good evening, Chaz. Good evening, sir.
Oh, hello, gents. How we doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. We made it. Apologies for the late start. Obviously, with my work commitments, kind of took over a little bit tonight. But chaps, this is the penultimate show of the season. I mean, it's crazy how much the season's gone on, and we're almost at the last one. It's crazy how this year's just gone so fast.
There's some argument about which number show this is, I think.
Yeah, some think it's 19, some think it's 20. I think it's 19 because I'm pretty sure it's 19. Yeah, but we're people saying it's 20.
Tank says 20, and he's a producer, so we got to listen to him.
Yeah, producer's word.
Producer's
word,
yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah. So this is our second part of the of our review special, teams review special. We're also going to put in the recent events from the week just gone, which I believe was the second semi-final of the World Championships. I think that was actually the first and second semi-final.
Two qualified.
Yes, it was indeed. These took place out at Rybnik in Poland, and the first qualifier was more of the less challenging, dare I say, final. Again, words that minute.
That's easy for you to say.
I know.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting heads down there.
It was the less stronger semi-final. Let's put it that way.
I do agree. I do agree, to be fair.
On paper.
On paper it was, yeah. But I will say that the lineup was pretty even throughout. And as you see there, the man that came out on top was the GOAT, which was Craig with a 15-point max. From what I heard and on the from how he raced, he was pretty much out the start and gone. He was consistent with his times. A great winner. It was looking like going into the final round of races because you had DL Shaw, Craig, and Racer Ryan all on a maximum up until Racer Ryan's fourth ride and DL Shaw's fourth ride, where they finished second and third respectively. Because that was looking like in that last race we had Craig, Racer Ryan, and DL Shaw all in the same race. Yeah. Something was got to give. But yeah, looking at the qualifiers, obviously had Craig, DL, Racer Ryan, Sizzler qualified as well. Good to see Sizz qualifying. Certainly one to look out for in the grand final. And a big surprise was yourself, Hads. You qualified for the grand final, mate. I mean, 9 points, and yeah, congratulations to you, mate, for qualifying.
Are you surprised, Dan? Come on, really?
Well,
he's got it in for you tonight, Hads.
I know.
Have you upset him or something? Have you upset him?
I don't know what's going on.
No,
Have you been going to Starbucks instead of Costa?
I don't like coffee full stop, so I'm good to neither.
I have my sources that tell me you're going to Starbucks, Hads.
I don't like coffee either way, so you might like.
Yeah, Hads, you were consistent throughout the night, and you had that last heat win in heat number 17, which got you into the grand final.
Yeah.
Just talk us through it, mate, because going to that meeting, were you actually, how much, did you put any pressure on yourself to get through that grand final?
Yeah, I wanted to get to the final. I made the final last year, but after the first couple of rides, I got away with one a little bit, shall we say, in the second one. I think it was against Hutty when it was called back for a rerun, and I ended up getting a point. My third ride, I was behind Craig, and Craig actually clipped the fence in front of me, forced me to go into the back of him, and then Neil overtook me, and I couldn't get back on track in time to overtake him. So I was a bit going into the last race. I know I needed some points, but finally managed to make a bit of a start in first bend and let the others battle between them, and it was enough, thankfully.
Yeah, certainly qualify again at that top 8 from this meeting. Of course, Shad, you were in this meeting as well, my friend. Credited 6 points. You know, an up and down meeting for yourself, mate. But
Oh,
I mean,
man.
would you be? Are you happy with those 6 points?
Oh, mate. I was so close. That last heat, I think I was leading, and then I think I started off with a really, really bad heat. I totally missed the gate in heat 4, which is standard, and just couldn't get anywhere close to Thrax. Hudson, Ryan were off and gone. I think my second race, Wolfie done. No, I got second in my. Yeah, that's right. I was just behind Craig in heat 5, so I got on the board at least. And in my third race, I think Wolfie did me on the last bend, the second. But the last race, heat 19, Jesus Christ! I think I was leading, and then I was second. I think Neil got past me when I blipped on the third lap, end of the third lap, and on the last bend, I think I just needed 2 points, and I was in second place, 2 points to qualify for the final. And I had the most almighty lad that sent me at right angles straight into the grass just after the last bend. And it wasn't until afterwards, and of course I rage quit. And it wasn't until afterwards that Hads told me that if I'd have come out the grass and finished, I would have been in the runoff for the final spot. So that really peed me off, and I thought, right, that's it. The bike's been put away for the season now. That's it. I'm done. I think that's probably the most. I think I was more disappointed with that than I was with losing the title to Warriors. Funnily enough, because there's a sort of inevitability about Warriors winning at the Pireman.
Yeah.
But with this, it was there on the last lap, and then I hate Bradford anyway. So good luck to everyone else who's riding at Bradford. And congratulations to Hads again. Well done, mate. You deserve to get through. You didn't have a last place all night, so, and you came good towards the end of the meeting. So yeah, well done, mate. I mean, don't forget, I had a 2-rider race as well. So getting those 3 points only against Tank. So honestly, I don't mean disparagingly. I just mean it's just a 2-rider race. So there was a lot more room. So I didn't deserve it really.
The runoff was interesting, as well. Going to say, if you just going down there, the freeway runoff. That was a close one. That was.
Yeah, it was three riders were tied on 7 points to qualify.
Could have been 4.
Tank came
could have been 4, yeah.
Yeah, could have been 4. And Tank came out on top of that one, which was quite a decent race in that one. So we had our first 8 qualifiers from that meeting, and then we moved on to the second qualifier. Now this one had a bit more, a more tastier look to it. It was a lot more tougher than this first semi-final.
Before you do that,
Yes.
let me just say about the first one. The big surprise was Big Slow Caney not qualifying.
Yeah, he had 2 blips in his third and fifth fire, which unfortunately cost him.
Surprise.
Yeah.
He's not in chat tonight, is he? No.
I think he. No, he's not. I say Craigie Hurl is.
Asking what happened.
Badger, Ben, Bobby, Craigie, Limo, Powis, Scotty, Shad.
No, he's not there.
Nah. Tank says he qualified without winning a race in the 20 heats. Dip and Neil did. Not sure if that's happened before.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had the first 8 qualifiers from that meeting. We then moved on to the second qualifier, of course, again at Ribnick. And this one, as I said, was the more tastier looking meeting out of the 2. This one had everything. And it took just the first heat when you had Powis against Stefan in that first race, and they literally, controlled the race or controlled the meeting straight from that first heat. Both finished on 14 points, top scoring. Certainly put themselves in contention for Bradford. Chaps, your thoughts on this one? Because as I said, this was a much more tastier lineup, which we actually saw on stream, actually, which was good to see as well.
Yeah, I think it was strong. It was stronger. I mean, it was made a little bit less by the guys who pulled out as well. Unknown, Wayne, and Barney, I believe it was.
Barney, I think he pulled out.
Yeah. Cam and Latourtier came in at the last minute, and we had a one rider, but we done good to fill the spots. To be honest, I know Caney was in line to have another go apparently at one point.
Yeah.
Until everyone said in the chat,
I think he was joking. I think he was joking. I hope he was joking.
And that picture, if anyone didn't see the meeting and you go in the chat and see the picture of Rico and Cam racing on the same laptop in the same race. Oh my days.
elbowing each other apparently during the race.
Well, I think Rico was using the arrow keys, and then Cam was using. I think he must have been using like the I, J, K, and L because they were right close together.
Yeah.
Oh, it was brilliant. Scotty B says Powell was 5 millimeters from a max.
He was. Yeah,
Scotty beat him.
Beat him in the race. Yeah.
Mm.
Put him in the fence over the lot, going over the line, if I remember right.
that was pretty special. But I mean, some of the lines that the top guys were taking was superb. I mean, I think in one race, I think Stefan was last out the start, and then by the end of lap 1, he was leading. There's the picture.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's the picture of Cam and Rico using the same laptop.
God.
Yeah. So who's is Rico on the number pad and Cam on the?
Yeah,
that's going to be Rico on the right, isn't it?
Rico on the right, yeah, it's got to be.
And he's holding the laptop as well, so he's at a disadvantage. He could have sort of tilted it. He could have tilted it at one stage if he wanted to and put Cam off, but he didn't. Big shout out to Skyrider.
I'd have liked to have seen how I'd have liked to have seen how their screen looked when they were doing that together. As in when they were racing, because I think it would have been a bit smaller than expected. And yeah, as you said, Shads, massive shout out to Skyrider.
I mean, he came last in his first race as well.
Yeah, put himself under so much pressure in the first race before the meeting even started, because he was in that first race with Stefan Powers.
Yeah,
and then to finish on 10 points and qualify. I mean, fair play to the lad.
Done well.
Absolutely.
Done well.
I think another one that we need to shout out to is Ben Thompson.
Yes.
Thompson. Yeah,
absolutely. 3 race wins as well. Had there
3 race wins. Yeah, looked really good.
Someone said he looked really good in practice earlier. He did really well.
Yeah. And I think had he not had that blip in his second ride, I think he would have been a bit more, a bit closer to the top 3.
But he qualified comfortably, didn't he? 10 points.
Tank saying, "You wait till you see me racing around Bradford Sunday. I'm still en route to the moon base for it."
and we can't not mention Bobby. That was a real surprise.
That was a
surprise,
to be fair.
If you've seen him in his last few meetings of the league season, it's probably not much of a surprise.
It's a real shame. There's quite a few surprises that actually got taken out of that meeting. Yeah. But we also did have. Go ahead, lads.
Latourtier was quite close actually to qualifying and getting in the runoff, and he came in last minute, so he did pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah. Then, of course, you had that runoff between JC and
Hobnob.
JC Hobnob. Yep, JC and Hobnobs, which JC took the win to qualify for the grand final. Now, after that meeting, we actually did have the draw for the grand final at Bradford, which will be broadcasted on Sunday with myself and Shads, if we do get a screen sharer, because unfortunately some of the people that are in this meeting would normally screen share for us, but they're racing in the grand final. So I have to sort of work it out and see what we can do. But the draw was made for the grand final straight after the Heat 21 race off between JC and Hobnob. And dare I say it, chaps, I think the heat to watch on that one is Heat 16. Because it has Steph, Powis, Craig, and Scotty? Am I right in saying Scotty B?
Not sure because I can't see the SS.
I know the
Yeah,
top.
Craig, Scotty, Powis, and Stefan.
Yeah, Craig, Scotty, Powis,
Yeah.
and Steph. Scotty B said, "Oh Christ." Oh, Scotty. Oh dear. Yeah, so here is the grand final program. Yeah.
Don't look at my last heat.
Don't look at your last heat.
Heat 17.
Good lord. Well, Steph's got 2 on the trot there because he's in 16 against Scotty B, Powis, and Craig, and then he's got DL Shaw, Ryan, and you. Oof, my word.
Yeah. It doesn't get any easier.
Shad, I believe you're right, sir. We've gone forward a little bit. Whoops, my apologies. We should have had.
You're getting overexcited then.
I know. I think it's just the tiredness from work. I'm just losing my losing the will to live. Because I had the program sheet in my hand, like on a photo, and I can't remember what we were doing next. But yeah, as I say, this second semi-final was good, wasn't it? Just talk us through it, lads, because it was great.
Yeah, it was good to.
Did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
I was doing the commentary with Dan.
You
on
were
this. If you haven't
indeed.
watched, there was some really good racing. To be fair, Badger did quite well as well. Nobody picked him beforehand, I don't think, to get through. But I think that was based on the 3 dropouts who was included. So it was good, solid 9 points to get him through.
Just looking for the screen, the rundown of tonight's program. Apologies, chaps. I am not. There you go. Yes.
Dynamite season review.
Yes, we do. That's next on the agenda. Now, unfortunately, we were going to have Neil R in tonight for this, but Neil R has sadly.
Can I just say something?
Yes, you can.
Can I say something? Hang on. That's me ripping out all the questions I had for Neil. Right, that's in the bin.
Yeah. Badger says, Hads, talk about Heat 11.
I can't see Heat 11.
Squall says, has Neil R's translator pulled out, so he had to scrub
Yeah,
it?
actually, that one was Master and Apprentice, wasn't it? That one, Stefan. Badger actually led Stefan and overtook him for a couple of laps and was meant to work really hard to get by him, to be fair. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
He really made him work for that one, to be fair.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the Dynamite season review, and of course, now the Dynamite is Hadlington's team. We were going to have Neil R on for this, but unfortunately, Neil has actually had to pull out at the last minute. So I believe we have a replacement for Neil. Do we know who that person is? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I believe
It,
he's in
it is.
chat
It is.
right now.
Yes. Super Dip, can you hear us, good sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, mate. Loud and clear.
Get in, it's worked the first time. Get in there.
Oh,
Evening,
brilliant.
Dip.
Evening, Dip, mate. How you doing?
Good. I'm good.
Good man. Good man. Now,
Missed
Dip,
the
it's been a bit of-
last minute replacement. Last minute replacement in the World Championship, and tonight a last minute replacement.
Yeah.
Might as well change my name.
It's the standby.
Yeah, definitely. So Dip, we're just looking at the Dynamite averages and stats here on the screen. You had a bit of a decent season. I say just talk us through how your season went on a basis like home and away.
How can I put it? I've done better than I thought I'd do, to be honest. But in theory, I wasn't trying to. How can I put it? It was more because coming back this season, obviously, we going along all the seasons when I started, sort of thing. My average has obviously been low and reserve, and I thought I need to get out of this. I need to snap out of it and get on with it. Obviously, I think it's obviously to do with training, keeping up with the training, even with the team sort of thing. I was always wanted to open, be first in there to open sort of thing and do the training, everything sort of thing, and be there doing as many laps as I could do. That's what I think the consistency's been with me home and away this year sort of thing. And now I just want to crack on. I'm going for even higher now for some reason.
Yeah.
The only thing what I'm thinking is now I've got a 6.15 average. It's who's going to take me, you see. Like I said, I'm going to carry on ironing. I've enjoyed it, to be honest. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the team and the people around me and everything, encouraging me all the time and everything to do well, sort of thing. So I was a bit shocked that the average was got because basically I wasn't really bothered about that. I was just doing well for the team and everything else, and just getting to where I was, sort of thing. And to be honest, I surprised myself by beating a few rides, but I didn't. Every time I go into a meeting thinking, right, you're with the big lads here, with the big boys, sort of thing. That's what I always thought, you see. I don't thinking, oh, you're right, you can beat and you can beat. I want to never do that, you see. I'm always thinking, right, I'm racing against the big boys here. I'm going to try and do well. And so this season, like I said, for the team, it's absolutely, all the lads have been brilliant, sort of thing. To be honest, I was, again, thinking of quitting again last season, sort of thing, and not doing this season, but I'm glad I've carried on and done what I've done this season for the team as well, sort of thing. And yeah, I'm really enjoying myself at the moment.
Ads MFT just put in the chat saying top man is Dip. His first time on voice chat for Crusaders was quite possibly the funniest thing I've heard in years.
Yeah.
Hads, any questions for Dip? What we got him here?
No, just that he's the biggest improver this season, over 3 points. 3 points on his average. I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, I know towards the end of the season as well, I put him in the number 5 spot for one of the matches, and he was like, "What, really?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, because you've earned it basically over your form over the season. So just keep pushing on that.
You look at his average after 6 meetings. He was at 6.86. He was touching 7 points. Mind you, he was at reserve, but still. And it didn't really drop. It didn't really drop that much after he went into the main body of the side. So credit to you, mate.
Cheers, mate. It's the same thing like you said with being reserve. You don't expect to go out there and I know people say you are the way you are, sort of thing, but you don't expect to go out and beat riders you're not supposed to beat. But then I look about and there's all you guys. It's like I'm thinking now next season, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, I mean I'm coming for you all, every single one of you.
Oh, hello.
Whatever competition it is. I mean, so Mr. Nice Guy now. That's it. I'm off. I'm
God.
I'm after.
What have you done to him, Hez? What have you done to him?
reawaken
I
the
mean,
dip. That's what we've
it's,
done.
it's. I mean, look.
Reawaken the dip.
If you look at his season as a whole, if you look at your season as a whole, you rode in 8 of the 12 meetings. So it's not as if you dodged any meetings. I mean, you rode against Storm, you rode against Warriors, but you didn't sort of ride in the easier meetings as such. You rode in some pretty tough ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same, like you just said. Then it's going back to when you were saying about the World Championship, just gone absolutely gutted in that runoff. Oh, was it? If I could say one thing about that was probably that runoff with Stephen and obviously with Neil, because obviously even on switching lines on the couple of obviously to the last bend sort of thing, like, I thought I've got him. Even the last bend I thought he had, but he even said to me afterwards, he said that's probably, he said my heart nearly come out my chest. Stephen said to me, Tank said, he said that was probably one of the hardest races that he's ever had, sort of thing. And for him to say that about me, sort of thing, is a bit of a, sounds stupid, bit of a compliment, you see, to me, because obviously a couple of years ago, what we're doing that, I'd be at the back scoring no score, doing nothing, sort of thing. But I did want to qualify, but there's always next season. Forget it now, but there's next season to go on to. So for me to improve, sort of thing, I've got to keep doing what I'm doing now.
There's a lesson there for Alan McNally as well. Never give up.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Never give up attitude. That's what I've got, sort of thing. It
Never
sounds a
give
bit
up.
stupid, but it's like I've got a mate. I go Speedway. I follow Bellevue Aces, sort of thing. We go all over the show, to be honest. And obviously, like, I don't know if I've told you lads, but I started mechanicking when I was 14, and I'm not going to mention names with riders, sort of thing, but I've done it quite nearly all my life, Speedway, and that's what it was. But when you've actually been around proper riders in Speed, when you're playing this game, and this is the closest thing a lot of people, if you don't want to ride a Speedway bike, is to this game. I know it sounds a bit stupid, and it's a computer sort of thing, but that's what you think. You think, all right, I'm right number 5 here. You're like thinking, well, I'm like a neat leader that you would do in Speedway. I don't know if you lads can relate to that, some of you, but when you have, done that sort of thing anyway, if you understand, even with this game, it's a bit. I think that sometimes I think, I'm right at number 5 tonight. Oh my god! Instead of being the reserve or something on the main body of the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy it.
Definitely.
I've enjoyed myself, like I said, and I can't wait. I just can't wait. I just can't wait for what they call it next season. Just seen Nats pop up there with something, but yeah, great. He's a great guy. I've known him. I've known exactly the same with him. I've known Nats for a long time, from the Mildenhall days, sort of thing. With one of my mates used to work for. He used to ride for them. We had some good times down there, and that's one track I do miss down there with a proper speedway. Anyway, what we're talking about SCS sort of thing. I could go on
We
and
are
go on
indeed,
about
yes.
Speedway. Yeah, sorry about that. Going off track a bit there. I wonder what we're playing at. Need to stay off the energy drinks.
So what's been your highlight of this season then, Dip?
I think getting asked to ride in the Grand Prix, to be honest. I know I didn't do very good in it anyway, sort of thing, but that was an experience to go in it and actually be a rider in there, if you understand. That was it. But obviously, and getting the call up of ads as well, that's another one. That's them two, I'd say. To ride for his team, and the belief he had in me, sort of thing, to do it. Which I thought, oh, I didn't know what to do, to be honest. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if anyone's going to pick me up or anything like that. But with my average being low anyway, that low anyway, I thought, well, someone might do, someone might not do, sort of thing. But it was already done and dusted before we even started, to be honest. But that's probably the two things. Obviously, being a GP rider for a short number of times, sort of thing, and obviously ads and everyone else in the team, yeah, having me there.
Lads, any more questions for Dip? Shaz, I know you've still got the Dip.
I was going to say about the Dynamite season as a whole. I think early on in the season they were really struggling with availability issues, with Lofty quitting pretty much after 2 meetings. I think Hans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did he quit on the day of the KO Cup first leg against Storm? Yeah, I mean, because we actually battered you at your place. I think he was reeling a little bit from losing riders and last minute. I think it was pretty much hampered your your season at the start. I think you've done well to recover towards the end of the season. I think you won your. I think did you win your last 3 meetings or something? I think it was.
Yeah, won the last
you
3.
did.
Yeah,
You look at the availability on the screen now. I mean, 101, you can't complain. He rode in every meeting. But then you got look at David No Fear. He disappeared after 5 heats. You only missed a meeting. But then Neil, he only rode in 6 meetings.
yeah,
So you were struggling. I mean, you look at the list of the guests and rider replacements, it's pretty hefty. But then you sort of like towards the end of if you could have started the season again halfway through, I think you'd have took that.
yeah, definitely.
It's pretty and then with Crook with his work commitments and losing David No Fear, you're always up against it.
Do you agree with that, Dip?
Say again?
Just said, do you agree with what we just said there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. It is
So
like I
that's
said. It's the same with. Well, I think there's other few teams been like that this season, haven't they? Where obviously you're struggling. Obviously, riders' commitment and sort of thing. We're working everything.
Piemen as well. Then another team that struggled.
Yeah, getting everyone in for training on the same day, and people can't come at a certain time. You're opening, you're staying open. People coming home from work tired, sort of thing, and you're doing an hour and everything, sort of thing. But same like I said with me, I told probably I wanted to be in nearly every. We had a meeting coming up. I was like every night, train, and you know, you need a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go all the time. It was wanted to come on, train. That's probably why.
Yeah, definitely.
I've done what I have done, sort of thing. But I always wanted to open. But that'll just carry on with me. That's just me now, sort of thing. But like, and I've got my server working on the master. It's only took me 6 years or something. That's another one as well. I didn't know how to do that. I only figured out the other day.
I never had a chance to have a server, so unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to do it that much. But
it was difficult. It was difficult for them. I mean, don't forget, in the old days, we had 10 rider squads. 10 squads of 10. So it wasn't so much of an issue. You could pick from 10. Now you're picking 6 from 7. So you've only got to have 1 or 2 out, and then you're looking at guests. So it was a lot easier back then.
Yeah, definitely.
Go
ahead, Dip.
Yeah, like you said, though, it is because, like I said, you're assembling a team of riders, and obviously, I don't know with captain sort of thing. Well, I can answer this one. When you do get that sheet of it coming in, obviously, if people's got holidays or anything, butts or work commitments, the captain's really look into that order, look at the just availability of the rider. They do need, if you understand what I mean, no think, right, he fits what we need, and he's, he seems pretty, if you understand what I mean, in that sort of way. That's you, that's, by the way.
A lot of us have got family commitments as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
I think
the demographic seems to be a lot older now than when it was back then. We was all younger and single, and there was a lot more younger guys racing then. It doesn't seem to be that many now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think just that what Dip was saying. Yeah, I think it's some people's availability obviously does change as well throughout the season, which can't be up with real life, and it happens unfortunately. And
things happen, don't they? Work shifts and work pattern
That's it.
shifts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, with that, we are going to quickly move on. So I believe that Had, you've got an announcement to make regarding Dynamite, haven't you?
I have indeed, yeah, for and about next season. Unfortunately, I won't be bringing the Dynamite to tapes next season. I'm going to have at least one season off. Basically, it's a bit of a mixture, to be honest. The availability was obviously a bit of a problem, and I've rid 4 seasons as captain. I've only rid 1 season not being a captain when I rode for Dragons in my first season.
That was with me.
It was for you and Squall. Squall was in the squad. Craig, Wolfie, Speedy, and I think Jan, was it Jan? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just basically see what I can do without being a captain for a couple of seasons, and I'm not saying it's the end of obviously forever, but just to see what I can do without that pressure of being captain, I suppose, and going from there.
Well, it's as Score said, what a team that was. Shame about the track, says Shads as well.
Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland.
Sunderland, good lord.
Me
Wow.
and that first
That was
getting grass became very good friends.
Yeah, that was an eye opener. I'll tell you, that was a definite eye opener.
Wow.
Surprised you're still here after that.
Oh, brilliant. But I say we're going to bring you back in, Had if we can. Obviously, being obviously now you've announced that. In terms of being a captain this season, how have you know what's it been like for you? Like, you know, managing this team, because you've had a lot of guests and a lot of rider placements to use this season. Looking at the screen there. But yeah, just talk us through how you've been enjoying the season.
I mean, I do enjoy captaining, obviously. Yeah. My average was around the same. I think I was 6th the season before, so I'm getting pretty consistent at this 6-point mark. To be fair, but it's just, as you can see, the guests and I think we used 10 guests and 3 rider replacements in 12 meetings. Sorry, so that's obviously one a meeting, and that's not. I know people's availability change and stuff like that, but it's just not good to be going. I mean, the last meeting we used 3 guests because 2 days we offered because we only had 4 people available, and whether that was because it was the end of the season and we couldn't win anything, or a bit of both, but it was a bit of a nightmare at times, obviously. And then we want a better availability, and then Neil doesn't turn up tonight, so I think that pretty sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, good point. That.
Yeah. Well, so as long as you've had a good season there, and obviously, as I think all the entire STS community want to say thank you for your inclusion this year, and also your times as captain.
You're still racing though, Hads, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Oh,
still racing, just not as captain. So, you know,
good man.
Hads will be in a team. Hopefully, I'm sure he will.
Well, I
anyways,
think a lot of people are going to be looking for a rider who's pretty much available every meeting. So
yeah,
be,
definitely.
he won't be short.
Most bonus points, don't forget that.
I thought you'd mention that sometime tonight, Hads. So I don't think you'd be short of us, mate.
Oh, excellent, brilliant. Well, so we've had the Dynamite review. Just want to say a big thanks to Dip for popping in. Appreciate that, mate. Really do. Good luck in season 19 if you do season 19 again. We hopefully will have some news in regards to season 19 potentially next week on the final episode. But with that being said, we're going to move on to our STS question, which is break time for us both, for a chance to just stretch your legs, get a drink, and all that lot. So the STS question this week is quite an interesting one. I believe, Shad, you wrote it up, so I'll just let you ask the question as you normally do.
I would like to start off with saying, without looking on the forum, but I know that some people will, and Parrot will probably know it anyway. The question tonight is, only 2 sides have failed to score a league point in a British League season. The Wolverhampton Brewers in season 17, and which other side?
Ooh,
only
so
2 sides have failed to score a league point in a British League season. Wolverhampton Brewers last season, and which other side? And if you can name the season as well.
Well, get your thinking caps on, chaps, and we'll see you back here.
I was going to say there's at least one person in chat tonight who was racing in that team.
Well, we're going to have our first break now, and we come back. We're going to have the the Cowboys season review. So, Bobby, stand by, because you are our guest for that one too. So that was the question for the break. Only 2 teams have had 0 points during their whole league campaign. Wolverhampton Brewers in season 17, and which other team? We'll see you in 5 minutes. So, welcome back to All Four Back, and we had the question. Only two sides have failed to score a league point during a British League season: the Wolverhampton Brewers in season 17, and which other side had? Sorry, Shad, do you care to enlighten us all?
Yes, School got it because he was in the team. It was season 13, Mildenhall Storm.
The Mildenhall Storm.
From 10 meetings, 0 points. They actually got
Wow.
battered 72-17 at Middlesbrough as well against Crusaders, I believe.
Wow.
That was a pretty bad season. No notable mentions to season 1 Eastbourne Shawns with 2 points. I think Edinburgh Hawks in season 7, 3 points. Newport Storm season 8. I think I was in the team, 3 points. I think I probably was in the team. Yeah. The Warriors, Plymouth Warriors in season 9, 5 points.
That's amazing.
And there's a few riders that are still around who are in that season 13 Mildenhall Storm side. Obviously School, but he only had 2 meetings, so we'll let him off. Unknown, Don's 101, Smiler, Capesy, Heppel, and supposed guest tonight, Neil, all in that side.
Blimey. So definitely a few names that, as I said, is still jumping around the servers.
Yeah, there are
Blimey.
worse sides. There are sides that are worse than this season's North team. There's 6 of them there.
Wow. Wow. So, anyways, chaps, I think we now have to go on to our second team review of the season. And that would be the Edinburgh Cowboys. They finished 4th in the league, if I'm correct in saying. Just beaten by the Scorchers into 3rd place. And with that being said, we're going to bring in our second guest, who was a part of that Cowboys team. Bobby, can you hear us, sir?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate. How you doing?
Perfect. Yeah, very good. Thanks, chaps. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Good.
It's been a bit of a decent show tonight. Obviously with these season reviews, things sort of take heed and all that. So I think first of all, Bobby, I've got to say, obviously you were led this season by Stefan, who pretty much has been the GOAT of the game in the last few seasons. Edinburgh, everyone was saying about obviously why they picked Edinburgh, because I remember the Cowboys being the Glasgow Cowboys all those years ago. I say
Even
just
last
talk through how.
last season.
Yeah, I think season 3 was when I last saw them, Glasgow Cowboys, because they made the trip to Edinburgh this year. So just talk us through your season, mate, because it's been a bit of an up and down one for the club in general.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't quite work out as we planned with the switch to Edinburgh. We were hoping it would give us a bit of that home track advantage that I think we'd kind of lost with Glasgow. Everyone kind of knows the way around there now. It's been around that long. But it didn't quite work out. Obviously, Steph scores big pretty much everywhere he goes, but a few of the lads struggle to get to grips with it. So we'll have to have a think about where we're going next year.
Yeah, we're just looking at the track now on screen. Of course, the one noticeable difference to the Edinburgh track to everyone else is that the starting is on the back straight rather than the front straight. Like normally you would start like at the bottom of the screen there, but you had start at the top. When you first saw that, what was your mindset going into it?
I don't think it makes a great deal of difference, to be fair. I think Powder Hall was there, wasn't it? I think it has just said. I think that was on the top straight as well.
Yeah. Shads, any questions for Bob? We've got him here.
I just got
definitely.
questions.
Yep, go ahead, Hads.
I was just going to mention they obviously had the home track you actually scored more points away from home than at Edinburgh. Do you think that was because you moved to Glasgow? Was it a late on decision, or was you always going to move?
We were always going to move, but we didn't really know where to. We had a few shortlisted, and we thought that one was the trickiest. But we kind of hoped that as the season went on, we would get used to it more than the away riders, but it didn't quite work out like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's fun. It's a fun track to ride, but it's tricky.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's been your highlight of this season, Bob? Because I know the Cowboys did have some the pairs this year. They had the success in the pairs. I think it was Steph and who was paired with
Caney.
Steph? Caney, yeah.
Caney, yeah.
So the Cowboys did have some success this season. As a home track, you wanted to make it as much of a fortress as you could. As the season progressed this year, did that sort of come into effect? We actually made the track like a fortress.
No, I think that was the problem. Obviously, that was the plan, and that's what we wanted to do. With it being a new, not a new track. Obviously, Warriors rode there a couple of years ago as well, I think. But just with it being, not everyone likes it. It's very technical. We hoped we'd pick it up, but we didn't. The highlight, I think, not for me. I don't have a very good season this season, but I think they said the pairs. Caney and Steph. So it was really, really good. And how Caney was really impressed with how we rode that night. Steph said to Caney that I think he was leading him round at some points. So obviously Caney was on fire.
Oh, I think we just lost Bobby.
No, I think I'm
Bobby,
back.
yeah, you sort of went there a little bit, but we've got you back now.
Yeah, I think I had a Zagar pop up on my mobile somehow.
Oh dear.
I keep getting
let's
this
see
pop-up saying I have to change my username by the 4th of March, and I keep ignoring it.
what-
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That was going to bring me on to the next question, actually, about Caney. What do you make of his improvement this season? Because since he came in, replaced Dench, I think it was at the start.
Yeah,
He's
it was, yeah.
Second
Yeah,
heat leader, in it. Well, finished second, didn't he, in the averages?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I can't remember what he came in on now. I think it was about a 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But no, he's been brilliant. Really good to have around as well. He's always having a laugh in the servers. He's always keen to get in. Always likes to have a bit of banter and chat and what have you as well. So he's been really good to have around the team.
Yeah.
Shads, any questions for Bobby? I think Shad's on mute. I think.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I did have another question.
Sorry, I
actually,
was listening. It was no. Hads has got all the questions for him.
Ah, fair enough. Had's
I have
I
carry
put
on.
all my questions for Neil in the bin after I spent all afternoon researching.
I did have another couple of questions sent to me by a couple of people earlier. The first one was if we can just look at the averages, the green sheets for the season. You're averaging over 9 points at the halfway stage. What do you think happened second half of the season there?
Oh, I've had the laptop that I use is old enough to drink. To be fair, I think it's 22-year-old. My laptop. I had to borrow one for the GPs, but the one I've got, the keys stick with it sometimes. So that didn't help. It was fine for the last meeting at Redcar, and it was fine for the World Championships. Believe it or not, I was just terrible. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's certainly been one of my worst seasons for a while.
Hey, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
6.81.
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I can. Obviously, I'm missing the last round of the GP. Hopefully, I've got enough points there to scrape into that for next season. And I'm looking at getting a new new laptop potentially over the next few weeks.
Are you definitely racing in that next Sunday?
No, I'm away.
Oh crikey!
Yeah,
Oh, blimmin' hell.
I'm going to a gig in Darlington, so I won't be here. I think I'm about 9 points clear or something of the top 8. So I'm hoping I've done enough. I think I've missed. It'll be the third round I've missed, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's enough there for me to sneak into it.
So we're looking at the averages now, as you see there. Obviously, the riders, the only rider change that you had was Dench in for Biggs, or for Biggs Kenny in for Dench.
Yeah.
But let's say consistency, Bobby. I mean, you were the captain this year, and having Stefan Prush being the number one guy in the entire league, did that sort of like take the pressure off you guys, knowing that he would score those points?
I think it does, but then it obviously puts a bit of pressure on because you want to score points as well, so you're not letting someone down who's hitting the maximum every other week. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a bit of both, really. But he's really good. Obviously, you're training in servers with him, and you tend to just follow him because he's away and gone, and just follow him around and try and see where he's going. And but no, he's obviously really, really good, isn't he? And he's always available, so there's never an issue with having to get guests or replacements for him. I mean, the majority of the team have been pretty good availability-wise. Smiler dropped off a little bit.
Apart from Friday nights when we're trying to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he
He's
plays
not
poker.
available. He's not available on Friday nights.
No.
He plays poker on a Friday night.
He does.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
Smiler obviously changed jobs, so his availability went a little bit around the middle of the season. But everybody else, but when I ask for availability, I normally ask for it on a sort of Sunday or Monday. And I've got all the replies usually within about 4 hours off everybody.
Mm. But apart from that, what's been your highlight of the season?
I think I got a track record at one of the Grand Prix rounds. Can't remember which one it was now.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably it,
Okay.
because Steph wanted to have them all. And he
Yeah,
hasn't.
Steph's got like all of them apart from like one or two. I think because
Yeah.
So looking back
can't
into your BGP and the SCS Championship and BGP series, so you're missing the last one. Have you been enjoying that individual series that you've been in?
Yeah. It's really good. It's a nice change. I think it's good. It's every sort of 3 or 4 weeks, so it's something to look forward to. I hope it stays as is next season, the GP and the SCS. Obviously, there's been a few issues with no riders and things like that, but if we can hopefully get a workaround for that, I think both series need to stay, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Any final questions for Bobby? What we got him here?
I do have one more. What was it like? I know, obviously now, I've had Hobnob in my teams in the past. What was it like having Hobnob in the team? Because he's the kind of person people bounce off, isn't he?
Yeah, same with all of them. The chats in the servers and stuff are good. The team chats that we've got are good. When I'm building a team, I try and intentionally go for guys who've kind of been around a bit, who are a little bit older, shall we say. No issues. You don't want people.
You never asked me.
No, well.
Yeah, you just described me there.
No
He
issues.
should have and should have put someone who can score a few points.
Yeah. Yeah, we could get a team together of people who've been banned in the past. You could get in that one with me.
Oh, getting that easily.
Yeah.
I got banned twice, mate, in the same season.
Yeah, who would we have? Me, you, Squall, 101.
Well, Crook. Not a bad, not a bad lineup, actually.
No, we'd get a decent side, wouldn't we?
Unbelievable.
How about riders that have scored maximums?
Riders
Who
that
what,
scored
sorry?
maximums.
Riders that have scored maximums and track records. I get in that.
Oh yeah,
You would, yeah.
I'm getting that. Yeah. Glasgow track record last year, wasn't it?
I might have mentioned it once or twice before.
Yeah, I mean that's still the best gate I've ever seen anybody make.
Best get I've ever made in my life. I've never done it since.
I think you did bend one before we moved off the start line.
I must have had Sizzler's keyboard that night.
Yeah, I wish I did.
But of course, it was a mid-table finish for you guys. Just been confirming that round 3 at Vargana was the track record you got, Bobby. Round
Right,
3.
yeah, I knew I'd got one somewhere. I just couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
But I say it was a
So that was-
mid-season finish for you guys. Finishing 4th place, only 1 point behind the Scorchers. But overall, season-wise, to get that mid-table, just how do you enjoy that season?
Disappointing, to be honest. We were hoping to be up there challenging for the title when we have a look at the team we put together. But obviously, first match Storm away. You're always on the back foot after a sort of defeat in your first meeting, aren't you? And then we had a couple of good wins after that, which kind of kept us up there. But yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I think we'll be moving away from Edinburgh next year. Not quite sure where to. I don't think it'll be back to Glasgow. It'll be a new track.
Oh,
See what sort of team we get together, and then whatever we pull together, we'll make a decision together. But it won't be Edinburgh, and I don't think it'll be Glasgow either.
Very few
you're saying
at the same track. 2 teams running. Cowboys did it at Glasgow, but there's not many that stay at the same track. Even when they've won leagues, they've usually moved track.
Yeah, well, Redcar stayed there. How many years now? 3? 2, 3?
2, yeah, 2.
2, yeah. Yeah, and Somerset was on last year, wasn't it? Was that Warriors again last year or not?
Dragons last year, I think.
Dragons, yeah, I knew it was in the league.
Yeah.
But no, I said that obviously Glasgow's great fun, but everyone knows it, so there's not much point going there. It'll be somewhere random.
Yeah, but so it was a good season. Very enjoyable to watch and all that. Bobby, it's been great having you on board, mate. We'll let you get on. I'll say one more thing. So you're guaranteeing now you're gonna be in there for season 19, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be back captaining the Cowboys, assuming the committee will have me. But yeah, I'll be back captaining the Cowboys next season.
Oh, you heard it here first, chaps. Bobby and the Cowboys will be coming back to tapes in season 19.
Great.
Obviously, we will have details of season 19 hopefully next week on the final show of the season. But Bobby, thanks for coming, mate. Really appreciate it, and
No problem.
let you get on and really gonna enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Cheers,
thanks,
Bobby.
guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
See you, mate.
Bye now.
So that brings on now to the final part of the show, which is going to be the preview of the World Championship final at Bradford. We did sort of get ahead of ourselves earlier on this show.
Still got the DP and FPS draw as well.
Yes, of course. Yes, we do.
You've had a long day, Dan.
Yeah, it's been pretty long. I'm absolutely shattered. So I'm gonna get through it. So if we have the draws lined up ready, hopefully, for the BGP and SCS draws, taking place, of course, at Bellevue, Manchester. So we're going to get the lineups already. The SCS wildcard is actually going to be Tintin for Bellevue, so we're going to see Tintin back on the bike. So, with that being said, Tank, if you have the screen to hand, we will draw the BGP. Tintin is not confirmed yet. Thanks for the clarification there, Tank. So this is the BGP Grand Final. So without any further ado, Tank, draw the numbers.
Your name's on there, Shads.
It shouldn't be. I'm not racing in it. I might. Let's see what the draw is first. I put my bikes away for the season, mate. I see.
Enjoy. Bobby. That's another one we now won't be riding.
Yeah. There's a lot here. There's a few here that won't be riding.
I think Speedy was another one, wasn't it?
Speedy, yeah.
And
I
there
thought
was
Speedy
one
was
more.
all from the series, though.
No, that was Crook.
Or was it? Oh, okay.
Boo.
Oh, here we go.
Number 6. Number 6 for me.
This means nothing to me. I wouldn't know whereabouts.
Fakey. Number 7. Lion. Number 8.
Oh, deal short.
Mr. Shaw.
Deal short. Still got a chance of getting in that top 8.
Yeah, it's very close for that.
He's only like 9 points behind. And if Bobby's
Last
not
couple of
riding,
spots.
Bobby's got a chance of dropping out of that top 8.
Yeah.
JC, Fecky, I mean, Craig, you can imagine Craig's going to score a few points, being it's one of his home tracks in days gone by.
It'd be interesting. Pow's already saying he doesn't like Heat 17.
That was another one who's had that as a home track. I think the same season as Craig, season 12.
I can't remember the last time I rode on the track, to be honest.
In
I've just looked
I
up
think we've had
the
it
outside gate.
in fun servers. We've had it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I didn't fancy it after remembering how well I did in fun servers around there. I just don't get it at all.
I've got 3 outside gates. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well, as Powers said when he
There you
got
are.
drawn in
14.
2 gate ones, I think he didn't fancy that, so you'd assume that the outside gates are better.
Yeah. The last 2, we've got Squall and Unknown. Squall's number 15. And number 16 is Unknown. I believe we're going to have the STS now. Just going to have a quick look.
Let's have a quick look at this.
Looks
look.
looks a decent draw there, chaps. I must admit. Any sort of race stands out for you guys?
Yeah,
I'm
none of mine.
just looking. I'm just looking to. I'm just looking to see who's going to be. I mean, the top three already settled, aren't they? It's going to be Stefan, Ryan, Paris, 1, 2, 3. But then
Yeah.
after that, you've got looking at the standings. Craig's on level points with Squall in 9th place. So you'd think Craig, if he practices, would sneak into that top 8. He's only like 1 point behind JC and Fecky in 6th and 7th. Bobby's going to miss a meeting, so he's going to be stuck on 64 points. So if JC, Fecky and Squall score 10, 11 points each, and Craig scores 11 points, they're going to knock Bobby out. But the chances of those three all scoring double figures, so it's pretty remote. Bobby could possibly be safe, but Craig will be the one who'll be looking to move into that top 8 at the expense of either JC, Fecky or Scored, I'd say. So one of those three is going to miss out.
So with that being said, we're going to move on to the SCS draw now. This one is hopefully going to get streamed on the 10th of March. So do hang about and hopefully we'll find out more details about that. So that being said, let's get this draw underway.
Number 1, Julio.
He'd be another one looking to try and sneak into that top 8, but I think he's a bit too far behind, 13 points behind now.
Number 2, Mr. No Show. Number 3 is Mr. Tank himself.
He's 8 points behind Stephen in 3rd place, so it's looking pretty remote that he's going to get into that top 3 to hit automatic into next year's Group GP.
Number 4 is L'Associate.
Yeah, he's pretty comfortable in 6th place. I think he's going to qualify for next year's SCS.
Yeah, definitely. Number 5 is Steven, 101. Number 6, Pompey. I know he's not been around for a while. Whether he rides is
No,
another.
he's just in the last qualifying position for next year's SCS. Just.
Mr. Badger, number 7.
He'll qualify. He's fine.
Number 8 is David No Fear.
He's only 5 points behind Pompey for that last qualifying place.
Yeah. I don't know if he's riding yet. He hasn't actually said if he's riding.
He's missed 4 rounds this year already.
I think so. But Ben, number 9. Number 10 is Wolfie.
Yeah, Wolfie looks pretty safe. He's 50 points, 9th position. He's qualified already for next year.
Will we have Scotty and Ads in the same heat first up? Mackinnon, number 11. No, number 12 will be Scotty B. And number 13 will be the current leader, Ads MFT.
They won't be meeting until heat 19. It could be all over by then.
And number 14 is Mr. No Show number 2. And number 15 will be Mr. Hobnob, who had a stormer in one of the rounds this season. Round winner. And that leaves, should Tintin confirm, Tintin will be number 16.
So again, some great looking lineups there for this SCS match. Obviously, Heat 19 will be Ads and Scotty B. As you said, it might be all over by then. But apart from that, chaps, which other Heat do you quite like the look of?
Crikey, I mean, you've got at least four there who probably won't be showing up. Wolf, we don't know. He's been in and out, hasn't he? Pompey, we've not seen him since mid-January, riding in anything on the STS.
Who else is in Heat 19?
Mackinnon, we're not sure about. Lango, I shouldn't think Lango would turn up. He didn't turn up. He hasn't turned up for 2 or 3 of the last meetings. So we could be looking at whoever to replace whoever's in chat on the night.
Get yourself in chat, Super Dip. I know he's in the GP, isn't he?
He's in the GP. At least we
He
know.
will be in the
At least we know.
GP,
At least we know he's going to show up.
Neil?
But we are hoping for this meeting to get streamed because it seems a lot closer on paper than the the BGP's pretty much been set up or pretty much hit the nail on the head with the top 3. But this one's going to be a lot more closer because only like a few points involved. Of course, Ads took the win from the previous round, which puts him in top spot. Actually took lead for the first time after round 7. And had he have been racing in that first round, he would have actually been leading potentially at the top of the first after the first round because he definitely has been the standout rider for this season. And again, so the Warriors put in the top spot. Well, it was to start with. It was going to be a Warriors domination. But Ads just slowly picked up the points here, there, and everywhere, and has got through. Of course, he scored a lot more points than Scotty B did in the previous round, and he's only 9 points for Scotty B. And Ads scored a massive 18 points by the looks of it on that screen.
You're looking at if you're looking at, to me, the crucial heat is going to be heat 3. If Scotty gets off to a good start and wins that heat, he's going to be putting a little bit of pressure on Ads to win his race in the next heat. If Scotty finishes 3rd or last, I think Ads will be a little bit more comfortable being 7 points ahead, and then it puts the pressure back on Scotty. But Scotty riding first in his first race, he wins it. Then Ads he's got 2 on the trot after that. He's got heat 4 and heat 5. So Scotty needs to win his heat to put pressure on Ads, and Ads gets 2 heats in a row to put the pressure back on Scotty. So it's going to be pretty ding dong all the way through. It's going to be great to watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are we saying in Heat 12 is a standout heat for the ones who normally turn up? Which I do have to agree with there.
Yeah.
Heat 12,
Yeah.
Ads, Le Saucier, Wolfie, and Badger.
Yeah, those 4 guaranteed to turn up most of the. Well, they have turned up every round. I think so.
I'm not sure about
But-
the track. Is it? We're talking about the outside gates being the advantage. If you're looking at that, as have got 3 inside gates. But
Yeah,
then
so
again,
is Scotty as
but
well.
then
Yeah.
again, so Scotty's got his at the end.
Ooh.
He's got his 2 outside gates and then 3 inside gates. But we don't. I've not raced on that track for ages, so I couldn't even tell you the lines I'm used to.
It has changed a couple of times as well.
Yeah, Paris did say that in chat, didn't he?
I have
No, it's
no
going to be
idea.
great to watch. It's going to be great to watch. And I mean, you'd hope for a neutral's perspective that Scotty picks up some early points and puts the pressure on ads. Otherwise, it could be over by mid meeting.
Mm.
Yeah.
It could be over by heat 5 if Ads
Oof.
wins his first 2 heats and Scotty doesn't get anything in heat 3. But I mean, Ads could conceivably be 13 points ahead. So that'd probably be it.
Well, only time will tell. Ads have just said another leveler.
We'll be calling it in Dan. Whatever happens,
Yes. Myself and
if we can get a
will
screen
be-
share.
Yes. Hopefully, fingers crossed we do.
Ben,
No. Can't, he's riding.
Ben's in it.
Yeah.
he might screen share if he's already qualified, hasn't he? We can only ask.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd want to win the meeting though, surely.
He's in good form actually, so yeah.
Mm.
He'd want to win the meeting. He's been cracking lately, hasn't he? He qualified for the World Champs final.
Yep. That was quite a decent
Quite an
result
easy
for him.
qualified. Yeah, he didn't have to go to a race off either. So.
No.
I think everyone wants to win a meeting. Doesn't matter if they're qualified or not.
Yeah, of course.
True.
He could
Very
ruin
true.
Scotty's night in heat 3, couldn't he?
Mm. Well, let's see what happens here when that meeting takes place on the 10th of March. You'll be seeing it all here on Discord, hopefully on YouTube as well. So, chaps, the final part of tonight's show, we are going to go back to preview the World Championship final taking place at Bradford this weekend. So something to look forward to for that. Of course, the World Championship is a single round event. And we are still looking at the sliders. There you go. So the World Championship Grand Final at Bradford. And like I said before, the standout heat has got to be heat 16. Has to be. When you got Craig, Scotty B, Powis, and Stefan all in the same race, the top qualifiers from the 2 semi-finals respectively. This meeting looks far too open. You would imagine the likes of Steph, Powis, Craig would potentially be there or thereabouts. Interesting to see what Zagar turns up. Of course, he's the defending champion this year. Of course, he won the title last year in spectacular style. So, chaps, obviously, of course, Hads, you're in this meeting. Just how you been preparing for this meeting?
I haven't at the minute.
Well,
I have to.
Go on.
I have done.
Go on.
It was actually on our track choices this season. Believe it or not. We only did a few laps around it and thought that's not good. Let's get rid of that one in the bin. So yeah, every race I think it's going to be tougher than a GP meeting, to be honest. Because obviously you got some of the SES guys in there, obviously as well. Ben's riding well. Tank, Scotty, Wolfie, Sky is also in there as well. And Badger, they've all been riding pretty well recently. A tough one.
It's going to be an epic final. It's going to be an epic final. I mean, you've got some people there who wouldn't have expected to be there. I mean, Stefan's going to start as favourite, isn't he? He does, as he does for every meeting he's in. You can't rule out Powis, you can't rule out Craig, Ryan, even Sizzler and D.L. Shaw. And Bradford's not a track that would be familiar to most people. It's not been used that often. Even in fun services, I've not seen it that often in fun services. I mean, every heat's going to be crucial. Every heat, you know, looking at 16, that's obviously the standout. But no one's going to want to get 0 points in a race, because that pretty much rules you out, because there's no semi-final to scrape into to give you like a second chance. The last place is a definite no.
Oh, there we go.
That's me done for then.
We have the screen back. Well, Powis had just said not on Bradford. I'll be out before the end of Heat 1. So Powis there is certainly doubting himself.
Got it. And he's 15 against 3 Warriors there.
He's doing a Skyrider.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Skyrider. Qualified easily for the final.
Yeah, true.
Well,
happy with Heat 16, get them all out of the way.
Yeah, Heat 16 is going to be the best one. It'd have been better if it was actually Heat 20, and they were like, say, if Craig had a max, Steph had a max, Powis had a max, and they all met in Heat 20. It's got to be there saying, I'm happy with that Heat 16, get them out all up the way at once. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Scotty. That is true. That is very true. So you guys both agree that the top 3 is pretty much going to be Craig, Steph, Powis in any order. Is that correct?
Depends if Craig practices or not. I know he put in some laps before the qualifier, and look what happened.
I'm gonna Powis has said he's not liking the track. He has said to me as well. He doesn't like the track. So I'm gonna go for Racer Ryan, maybe.
Ooh.
I've got a sneaky feeling. Because last year we had a surprise when there was Zagar, or maybe not such a surprise, but any meeting that's got Stefan in is always a surprise if someone else wins. I've got a sneaky feeling that Sizzler's going to be somewhere up there. I don't know why. I just got the way Gates. I just got a feeling that he's gonna upset a few people. Maybe not win it, but finish in the top 3. I was going to put an outside bet. I think I'll put it on him.
Apparently, there's not many passing opportunities as well on this track, so
that'll definitely help the Gators.
That'll help the Sizzlers be gone.
Absolutely. Well, I will say, chaps, that we are going to hopefully have this meeting streamed. So one to look forward to. But I think on that note, and we are approaching, well, we have gone past the 10 o'clock mark. I think it's only fair we wrap up tonight's show. Next week will be the final show of the season, where we will have the World Champs final review, the SCS and BGP review, the team of the season as well, and also the top 3 in the league are going to have their review. So it'll be Warriors, Storm, and Scorchers. So any questions for those 3 teams? We will try and source out guests for each of those teams. It'll be a bit of a bumper.
Turn up.
It'll be a bit of a bumper episode that night, so potentially maybe more than 2 hours. So we will try and get a couple more guest hosts come in. Well, I don't know yet. See what happens. I'm gonna a works route yet for that week, so I don't know what's happening. But all will be revealed in the next few days. Any last words, chaps?
Oh, there was had actually messaged me and reminded people to the season 18 end of season awards on the forum. There's only been 11 replies so far, so if you haven't replied already, can you get your nominations in, because we're going to be announcing the winners next week.
Yes, we will be like a little awards. You know, it's not quite the BAFTAs,
No,
but or the Oscars, but we definitely are going to be doing that.
if the link
Sizzler
has
has
been
said,
put up, Paris as well.
"Yep." Sizzler has said, "Let me question Storm, Chester." Well, if you've got questions for Storm or Warriors or
Oh, here we
even
go.
Scorchers, you know, get them in, Sizz, and we'll get them answered for you,
Yeah.
mate. Don't worry about that.
Cheers, Sis. I can imagine what they're going to be like.
One word, bottle.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sizz.
Here we go.
Dear me, Sizz. Dear me. So that's going to be what's going to happen next week. The end of season reviews, and the World Championship review. The top 3 as well going to be brought in, and then that'll be the end of all 4 back for season 18. So with that being said, I will wish a good night to Hadlington.
Good night, Dad. Good night, all.
Good night all, and a good night to Shads.
Good night, everyone.
Well, it's been great having you on board, chaps, and we'll see you hopefully next week. Usual start time 8 p.m. pending any further work rotas that I get given, but I'm sure you guys will all know at the towards the end towards the build up to the meeting, I should say. But until then, folks, I'm going for a lie down because I'm knackered. Right, we'll see you all next week, guys. Take care and good night.